transitioned in the 80s. It was 86. Like he died in 86.
Wow.
So mind you, me growing up, I had a visual. I knew who my dad was. You know what I mean? Like I knew who he was. I knew his face. I knew this was my dad because we used to go up, 10th Street. Once again, we lived in Swan Park, so we used to go to 10th Street uptown all the time.
Yeah.
But I knew who my dad was. Everybody on that block knew who my dad was, right?
But he didn't raise you.
And he didn't raise me either. So I asked my mom.
Brandon, did you only know him in passing? Did you only know him in passing?
No, I knew him before he passed.
No, I mean in passing as on the street, as waving to your dad, but not in... No. I didn't have that pleasure because my dad was a dope dealer. I didn't have that pleasure. Gotcha.
Because he didn't want me around that type of environment. And then if the streets got hot, he definitely didn't want my mom coming down there. They lived on the same block. So when my mom was growing up, he would be like, and like you say, your dad was like predatorial. He used to kind of follow my mom around. Like he wanted to holler at my mom, but my mom didn't want to fuck with him because of what his background was, and she knew he was older. I asked my mom, I said, yo, how did my dad treat you? He was like, well, he was cool. He was real cool. He was laid back, but, don't get him angry, because if you got him angry, you'll see another, his name was Alfred. You'll see another part of Alfred, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, well, on top of that, he had a wife. I didn't know.
Okay. Can I pause you right there? This is crazy. My father had a wife. My mother's name is Diana. My father had a wife. He was married with 2 children. He had a wife named Diana.
Wow.
My mother was 17. My father did not raise me. My mom said he was around me briefly when I was a baby, but my mother got married to another man who I was told was my father when I was only like 8 months old when my mother married another man. But my father too was married. That's crazy that we have that in common. And I was not raised by him. I don't even know him. I've never even seen him. You have pictures of yours. I don't even have pictures of mine.
Right. And see, that's the connection. Like trying to.
Here we go. This is the universe, man.
Right.
This ain't God good. We never knew these things about one another.
No.
We never knew. This is so. When I say this is organic, y'all, this is so organic. We're not making this up.
Because I can't put that in a rhyme. You know what I'm saying? I can't put what I'm explaining to the folks in a rhyme in 2 minutes, in 5 minutes, because your attention span is not going to really last that long.
Your attention span is not going to last that long.
No.
But this is crazy, Enoch. This is so crazy.
Yeah,
so we both had these street daddies that were married and many years older than our mothers.
Right.
Wow.
And to top it all, here's the kicker. To top it all, after my father passed away or got murdered, and I'll tell you why, got murdered, I'm finding out years later, I wanted to know more about my dad. Like I wanted to know more of why I was being the way I was, how my mom would look at me like, oh, you remind me of Alfred. Boy, you just a red version of him. Like my dad was dark skinned.
Yeah.
When I saw my dad, now when I see my dad, when I saw my dad back then, it didn't register. But now when I look at older pictures and when I look at him or think about him, he reminds me of Marvin Gaye. Just this persona. And then when I'm looking at all these photos, I'm like, damn, this dude was dressed to impress. But at any rate, they were living in this particular area, but my dad had a girlfriend, he had a wife, he had another girlfriend, he had children. He had children. Come to find out, the lady that he married started liking women.
Wow.
And he was like, I can't fuck with you. He rolled out, found, got another girlfriend, lived with her. He was like, I can't fuck with you.
Where did your mother play a part in all of this? Because she was the baby, probably. My
mom was, as my aunt tells me now, my mom was a safe haven for my dad from the streets. He'll come to the house. My grandmother, my mom's mom, did not like my dad. Trust that.
And she shouldn't have, yeah.
She was old head. She was on, she was a street going person,
Where was your mother's father? Where was your mother's father?
My mother's father, my grandmother left my grandfather because he was being domestic.
That was brave of her.
And
that was brave of your grandmother.
It was, but my grandma had 12 siblings. And the boys were like, we going to his house. My grandma's name is Rosie Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but they used to call her Dog. Like, Dog, we going to, what's going on? She was like, don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of it. And my grandma said she whooped my granddad's ass so bad one day. She took my mom, and then they came to D.C. You know what I'm saying? With my other uncle.
So your mother grew up without a father, too?
I would say yes and no, because she got the opportunity to go back down south. My mom was doing so terrible here. My mom was like acting up like shit, and my grandma sent her ass back down south.
Right. But he didn't raise her. Sounds like
he didn't raise her.
Right.
My mother got raised by her grandmother.
Right.
So
there's the pathology, though. But there's the pathology following. Because your mother didn't just become wild and all of these things just because she said, this is what I'm going to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
Father's the identity, the self-esteem. Mother is the sanity for both men and women. And so I struggled with the identity because I don't know anything. My mother doesn't talk about my father. I asked her questions. She answered them, but that was it.
Ooh,
I was abandoned by not one but two fathers. One whom was my biological, whom I didn't know for a while, and one who I was told was my biological, and then found out overhearing a phone call. And, I have no relationship with the one who conceived me, and then now I have no relationship with the one who raised me.
Wow.
So my struggles, I have a life coach, and what I was telling him was, intellectually and logically, I know better. I can spew, all of the things that I know about. It's not my fault. I am my own person. You know what I mean? But when things arise and, you start to act out of fear and not love, and love for self, and things arise, that's when I started to realize that, whoa, wait a minute. I am more, affected and wired by this shit than I realized, because I grew up in Circle Court in D.C. Temple Court, Circle Court. I was taught to suppress. I was taught to armor up. You armor up, and you maneuver through this hood, and you protect yourself. You stay alert. And even though I'm this spiritual empath who's always been very aware, even very young, I had to be something that I wasn't in order to live, not even live, to survive and to make it.
And that is and I think that's where we become, and that's where we're different at. Like we're connecting in so many other bullet points and dots, and I think that's where it comes to my thought process. Like, I was never taught that. I was raised, by my grandma. Because, my mom was a street fiend, and so then she showed me how to love. Like, she showed me, hey, be open with your feelings, and just move about. Just move about this world. Like, be in the world, but not of the world.
That speaks on your wholeness and your energy. Everybody says this to me who's been around you. And your Leo buddy, my daughter, shout out to D. Steele.
Yeah, D. Steele, what up?
She says that about you all the time. She says, I like being in a room with him. She loves your energy.
Well,
loves
that's
it.
What's up.
You know what I mean? But that speaks to that. That's that grandma, that mature, that matriarchal, you know what I mean? That head of the village type of love. Whereas though, no, I was raised by the child who had to learn how to be on her own. And my mom's way of being was just surviving, just making it, hustling. You know what I mean? And so she taught me that. That's what she had to give. Yeah, and that's me.
That's you all the way, because you are a hustler. Like, you be moving like you be moving so much, I don't think you sleep. Like, I watch your Instagram joint, and you be here, you be there, but then I just don't know you from Instagram. You know what I mean? Like,
you don't just know, right?
I just didn't meet you last week, and we decided to put this damn podcast together. No, like, I've seen you in the city, and I've seen you moving and grooving. I'm like, who's that little shorty right there? You know what I mean? It's just like, you're moving and grooving in the city, so it's you have a mind frame that it is a hustle mind frame, a focused mind frame, and I need to get this shit done today mind frame. I'm patient, but I need to get this shit done. While I'm being patient, I'm not going to wait for this. I'm going to be patient for it, but I ain't going to wait for it because I need to get this part of it done. And that's the spirit. I love that spirit about you, because when I see you still always have this, I got somewhere else to be. I know I got to do this brunch business thing, but damn, I'm thinking about doing something else right now. But I'm going to focus on this brunch business or interviewing this guest. But while I'm talking to you, I'm thinking about the next thing I need to be doing right after this shit.
But the crazy thing about me, solitude, is I protect it. Solitude is necessary for me, though. Solitude, but the problem is I appear that way to others. Like, and other people have said that, the same thing he said. Like, I'm always moving, but I have to, because I am a Cancer, a moon child, a crab, and I value solitude and my hermitage. I'm a hermit. I will go in and I won't come out for days. But the only thing that makes me come out is that I am a hustler. I'm a mom. I gotta live. I gotta eat. Unlike you, I like fashion. And my kids do too. You know what I mean? I eat organic, and it's not cheap. But and so I got to get out and make money, and in order to live and to exist the way I want to exist, in this temporary life. But it's a lot for me, because it's not intrinsically me to just be out. Like, I get out because it's more like business and networking, and then I go back in. And then I totally go back in,
Right. Yeah,
and
if y'all ever see this lady, you would think, right, you know what I'm saying? Because your voice is so, like, your energy is powerful enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't think that people can run over this lady, because it's not going to happen. I don't care how short she is.
Please don't touch the gangster.
That shit is not happening.
Because it's happened to those who don't get it. It's happened. Please don't test the gangster.
Hey,
I grew up speaking properly. I enunciate and pronunciate because my mama did. Please understand.
Oh my God!
Please.
Don't commit spiritual suicide. Stepping up to her, thinking you about to get over this shit. Nah,
I'm grown up, but I still have work to do, Enoch. And those who have felt my wrath understand. And then I regret it after that whole, after I go Tasmanian devil, But the thing about my personality is I always walk in with a positive intention. I always walk in ready to serve and give, and to, I'm always of service, because that's who I am. And I know that about myself. I know why I'm here, and I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm just now learning my direction and my path. Right. You know what I mean? And so I know while I'm here. I know. Look, I had the come to Jesus moment, but I was just like, God, what do you want? What do you want from me? You know what I mean? And I got the answers. So, but I'm still a work in progress, I'm still learning, and I'm still growing, and I'm still human. And so I've had those. Test me. And I failed some of those tests. And then some tests I've, passed with flying colors, where I was able to say, you know what, love, this is more about you, and it's not about me. So I know it's never about me. It's never.
You gave yourself the Monique moment. You started talking to yourself, hey, love.
No, I said it out loud to them.
Oh, you said it out loud? Okay.
I said it out loud. I said, love, I know this is more about you than me. You don't know that, but I do. I'm going to exit and I'm going to, do it gracefully.
Love. So, do you struggle with it?